What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And I know y'all, I'm still getting through what I'm going through, but I feel so much better. But what I'm here to talk about is the big trade that Adam Peters made today in getting Marshawn Lynch from the New Orleans Saints. Now, I want to give a shout out to one of my longtime commenters, Lawrence Bryan. He's always been a guy who's always supported me and always felt that for y'all who haven't followed the channel for a long time, I've always did these trade videos and possibility videos and player evals and draft evals and drafted player evals. And Lawrence has always been a guy who's always supported me in this whole thing. But the reason why I'm shouting out his comment is because he asked me if the coaching staff ever looks at my videos. Now, the crazy thing about that is that this particular video was actually one of many videos where I had a lot of views, a lot of them. And the thing that I realized was that I do think that the coaching staff, I remember Ron and them used to look at it. I remember Jack used to make comments. I know Jonathan Allen used to look at him, because I remember one time he made a comment in an interview where he said, "I know the fans are frustrated," and he made a smirk. So I knew that some of the players do look at it. Terry McLaurin actually commented on one of my posts that I did on TikTok. So the players and coaches and other staff members do follow me as a content creator. Now, I will say this. I'm glad that Adam Peters understood what he needed to do, because looking at that Giants game, remember, I came back right after that Giants game and I said, look, we need us a top corner. It's no getting around that, because we need a guy that can take at least one receiver out of the game. And this trade does that. Not only that, because we needed a top corner, it was good that Adam Peters understood that you have these elite guys and then you have that next tier of guys. And he understood that he couldn't walk away from the draft. He couldn't walk away out of this trade deadline with just a guy. Like, I like Jack Jones. But I knew that in his mind, he couldn't walk away with just Jack Jones. And he understood that he had to go after somebody of a very high caliber, very high tier. Not only that, a guy you can basically have on an island by himself while he still learns the defense. So, which may not be that tough for him, being as though that Dennis Allen, Dan Quinn type of defense kind of mirror each other some. So his transit, he might need to learn terminology, but I think a lot of the scheme fits and everything. It's for Marshawn. Not only that, it takes advantage of what his greatest skill is, and that's man on man, which is something Joe Witt really does love when it comes to this defense. So again, very, very good trade. Now, I'll also say this. I didn't like that we had to give up so much, but I understood why we had to give up so much, because we were in a bidding war with other teams. There were other teams trying to get him as well. One of those teams, from a source that I got, was in fact the Baltimore Ravens. When the Marshawn deal fell through, they went after Tre'Davious White. So that was a thing. You know, they were trying to get Marshawn Lattimore as well. So, and being as though Marshawn Lattimore had already played with Marcus Williams before, they felt that was going, like, you know, Baltimore was really trying to push for it. And Washington had to step up their offer and throw in that 4th round pick as well, because they were hoping to only have to do the 3rd and the 6th. But when Baltimore was putting on the pressure, they had to throw in the 4th as well. So, yeah, that was a huge thing. And like I said again, to get a elite top level corner who can play man, who can be on his own on the island until he learns the terminology of the defense, that was a very good pull. Now, I know some of y'all are going to sit up here and say something like, but John, we still didn't get the pass rusher. Yeah, we didn't. The Zadarius Smith move, that was a favor the Browns gave Zadarius Smith. From my understanding, Washington was going to make a play, but Zadarius Smith had already made it clear that he did want to win, and he felt that going to Detroit gave him the best opportunity and chance to win. So that was a big thing. And not only that, Detroit really wanted somebody who had that, you know, that playoff experience, that championship experience, things of that such nature. Coming from a Baltimore organization, you know, they really wanted that. And because of that, like I said, Cleveland did Zadarius Smith a favor, and Zadarius Smith told him that he wanted to go somewhere where he wanted to go. Now, again, to only get a 7th round pick, that's crazy. That was crazy. I mean, I think it was like a 6th and a 7th. That's so minimal. But again, the same thing happened with Trent. When we traded Trent, I mean, we can only get a 5th round pick because Trent nixed all the trades. So, man, I tell you, man, it's something. It is something. I'm glad that we're there. Like I said, the pass rusher thing, once I also saw that we had given up that 4th round pick, I knew, once I saw it was the 3rd, the 4th, and the 6th, basically giving New Orleans back their 6th round pick, I knew right then and there we weren't going to get a pass rusher once the trade deadline ended, because it was just one of those situations where they had already gave up too much draft capital in their mind, so they didn't want to give up any more. So now they go from 9 picks, I think, to 6 now. So they really didn't want to give up any more draft capital. So I can definitely understand not going after a pass rusher. What we paid was a desperation tax, but we needed a guy like this. And I do feel that this really does make us better. But the crazy thing about that was that once the Marshawn Lattimore deal was made, the very next thing we saw is Pittsburgh make a move to, I don't know if it was to counterbalance what we did, because they did need another guy opposite of George Pickens. But they picked up not only a wide receiver, but a pass rusher too. The thing about it is that with us getting Marshawn, it makes me less nervous about the Pittsburgh game, because I do feel that with what's going to happen, Mikey Sanders still goes back to the nickel. At least that's what we assume. But he goes back to the nickel. And what that does, that gives him an opportunity to really shut some guys out, because, you know, with Pittsburgh, they do have tight ends, but I don't think they have a third receiver option that is like a real threat. I mean, even though Austin is a pretty big threat, especially in the return game, But I mean, Sandra still might be able to really, take advantage of him, but because I think Sandra Steele is bigger than him. So again, I like this trade. In my possibilities video, I sat up there and talked about it. I said, hey, I said, go get Paulson Adebayo. I said, kick the tires on Marshawn Lynch to see what New Orleans would really do. And then, but if they say no, then go ahead and, your real target is Paulson Adebayo. The fact that they did kick the tires and they come out with Marshawn Lynch, absolutely fantastic. This now means we can actually move forward. We got him under contract for a while. His cap number is actually very good. So in the term of future time on the contract and the money paid out on the contract in regards to the cap hit. So it's actually really, really good that we got Marshawn Lynch. He takes up a lot of, he gives us a really good opportunity as we go down the stretch of where these teams that we're going to face that actually has some solid receiving cores. Again, you're talking about with Pittsburgh now getting Mike Williams. I feel that you can have St. Juice on Mike Williams because Mike Williams is physical and St. Juice is physical. So Mike Williams isn't going to be one of those guys that is going to be like A.J. Brown type of dangerous. He's actually going to be a guy that is just going to, do his job, and that's pretty much it. And I think Benjamin St. Juice can do that. Being as though St. Juice is going to the 2 slot, he does have a better chance against some of those other receivers. Same like when you look at Philadelphia, the same thing there. Marshawn Lynch is on A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is a big guy. Could body Marshawn a little bit, but Marshawn's a fighter. Now, but Benjamin St. Juice can actually manhandle Devontae Smith by, but St. Juice will have to be up on him. Will have to really be physical with Devontae Smith. And then Sandra Steele can, in fact, take out a Jahan Dotson because we saw how crazy a play Jahan Dotson made last week. So, yeah, that was crazy. But, again, very, very glad that Adam Peters made this deal. Very smart deal. Lawrence, I would love to work for an NFL scouting department. I mean, it would be absolutely amazing to do that. Now, do I feel that I probably wouldn't due to nepotism? Yeah, I do. But if an NFL front office or scouting department member felt the need to try to sit up there and bring me in, I would definitely take the job, and I would take the job serious because it would mean so much. Because, like I said, it's pretty much what I'm doing already. I evaluate guys. I pay attention to what they're doing. I'm paying attention to their skill and stuff like that. And I understand that everybody has this thing where, everybody is a couch evaluator. But no, I really do evaluate guys, and I really do pay attention to guys and pay attention. Remember, I'm the one who came up with my metric system, which is the SSN metric, scheme, skill, need. So all the guys that I talked about as trade possibilities were guys that would fit our scheme. So, like I said, great trade by Adam Peters. Did we give up a lot? Yes. But it was necessary because we was in a bidding war with Baltimore. And I can't remember who the other team was, but it was definitely, Baltimore was definitely one of the teams we was in a bidding war with. So, yeah. So, y'all tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel about the draft? About the trade? And what do you think what do you think the impact will be in this trade? Will we see a different type of defense due to the fact that now you have a guy who can take out a top wide receiver, and now St. Juice can actually sit up there and rest a little easier and not get the vitriol of the fan base due to him no longer having to defend the top wide receiver. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.